Paul Kenny, your General Secretary of the GMB.
Proud to be.
Here we are in Gloucester. It was a fair turnout.
Not bad.
2,000 I've heard from various people. What about all that lot out there? Because the thing about strike action is if you're involved in it, you feel very good, a great sense of camaraderie. But if you're going to win, somehow the multitudes out there have to be convinced. I mean, how far along that road do you think you are?
I think we're further down it than we were. I think originally the public didn't really understand what this dispute was about. It was being badged by politicians and by sections of the media as just being these gold-plated public sector pensions. These people don't know how lucky they are, and why should they have a pension when no one else? That was the drive of certain sections of the media and certainly the government's position. And as we've gone on, we do a lot of polling at the TUC. And when we first started, that was below 50%. So the majority of people thought that. Now, 2/3 of people think the opposite. They think
the recent BBC poll,
yeah,
isn't it?
and it's the TUC have got one as well, and it's virtually identical. Ours is slightly better, but it says 2/3 of people now think what's happening is unfair and unjust.
I have met a few times today people who work in the private sector who know their pensions are insecure and they're not what they were, right? But they do feel that the public sector workforce trying to protect something that they haven't got sort of makes them feel resentful, I suppose. What do you say to that?
Well, isn't that a bit like? I mean, I haven't got something, but someone else has. I mean, wouldn't it be better to make sure they do get something? The future for people, working people in this country, is not a race to the bottom. It's dignity in retirement. There are some good private sector schemes about. I mean, there are. In fact, the workers in this very city, apart from Unilever around, are actually now balloting to protect their final salary position. So there are final salary schemes in the private sector. But the whole process of this is to raise people up and dignity in employment. If they don't put aside, it's a responsible thing to put aside for your retirement.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, who do you think picks up the bill at the end? The taxpayer picks up the bill.
Last question, because we may hit our 2-minute limit in a minute. Do you think you're going to have to do this again in the near future? Well, I suspect you are.
Well, we may well have to. We may well have to. But I think the unions are not just, blow the whistle, everybody comes out the trenches and fire up. I mean, we've all been talking about new and what we call smart strikes, which may well involve some unions funding the actions of other union members, so that effectively you have maximum impact with minimum impact on your own people and on the public. A lot of revenue collecting sections of public services that we could pull people out and keep them up.
Things could get interesting.
Well, we're not going to pack up and go home now today. People are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I mean, they will carry on the fight. They'll fight here and they'll fight in the ballot box.